Everybody, welcome. Come on in. Knowles 24/7 instant reaction. The first reaction to a win in a while.
An
The
ACC win
first,
in over a
the
year.
first reaction to an ACC win in about 400 days. Feels good. It feels different. It feels nice. I could tell you what, I didn't expect it. If you ever want to make any money, go to the Knowles 24/7 game prediction thread. Do the opposite of what I say. Trillionaire. Florida State wins by an actual score of 42-7. They are able to generate a number of explosive plays. Deuce Robinson is the man. Randy Pittman's the man. Thomas Castellanos had a nice game. Sam Singleton making the start at running back. The offense looked good against a actual very legitimate, in my opinion, Wake defense, one that I watched against SMU, was impressed by their pursuit, their effort. Man, it was an interesting game, Adam, because it was 14-0 at half. Florida State really poured it on in that second half, and they took advantage of a ton of Wake mistakes. Wake played one of the worst games
ever.
Yeah, and as a recent Florida State fan, I've got a pretty good history to reference from. It was terrible. They played a terrible game, but Florida State, they hit the 3-0 pitches that were right down the middle of the strike zone, and they did exactly what they were supposed to do. So kudos to them. It was an interesting game. Is it a harbinger of things to come? Is it possibly a mirage? I don't know. I want to know your thoughts on it, but the one thing is for certain, Florida State beat the piss out of Wake Forest tonight, so hats off.
Yeah, they did. It seems like as long as this Florida State offense has Deuce Robinson on the field, they've got a chance to do whatever they want. I mean, that's kind of been the deal here the last few weeks. He would get dinged up or he was hurt, and as soon as he kind of left the field, they just became so anemic on offense that it really set them back. So obviously the bye week was good for his health and the performance that he had again tonight. I mean, he's been such a big deal for them at wide receiver all year long. And obviously it shows when he's there, they can just throw the ball up to him. I mean, that catch behind the guy's back, that was incredible. That was a hell of a catch.
He's a monster, dude. He really is.
He truly is. He truly is. So hats off to him. I mean, he's been a consistent performer all year long. I mean, just as far as the win, I don't know. You said it before we started. I mean, this just feels so ugly. They've put us in such a weird position now.
Right.
Fans are fighting with each other. Like the ones that want Mike fired, the ones that are, you're not a real fan if you're rooting against it. We are in freaking purgatory right now, and it feels so yucky. Look, it's great that they won. It was nice to actually watch a freaking win and a win against an ACC team because it's been over a year since that happened. But at the same time, it feels so dirty.
It was nice to watch somebody else pour gas on themselves and light themselves on fire for a change. It was nice to not have to participate in the self-immolation. But, it was an interesting – and for the Deuce Robinson thing, 5 catches, 148 yards, about 30 per, a long as 65, a touchdown. Kid is a monster, right? Yeah. It is interesting. Now, can they use this moment? Because it did the lack of energy, the lack of confidence that you've seen against Stanford particularly, but even against Pitt, some of those other games – they did seem to recap some lost mojo on the sidelines. They were chirping. They were energetic. Can this be a moment? Because the back half of your schedule, you're playing some teams with talent. Yeah. You're playing some teams with overall team talent, but dude, they are in poor places, right? Yep. Clemson is in a hellacious place. Yeah. Virginia Tech is a great. Florida, they showed you today against Georgia, but it's a bunch of winnable games, right?
Yep.
Can they use this moment against a team with Wake that was 5-2 before you played them, that did just beat SMU, who just beat Miami? They have a good defense. This is something to build upon if they can. I'd be interested to see when we go back and watch the film, not so much on offense. Florida State did what they needed to do on offense. They generated explosives against a defense that does not traditionally allow them. The defensive performance, I felt that Robbie Ashford still had too much time in the pocket. Yeah, exactly. Florida State, you're going to get us a 9, but brother, you're not going to beat us in that 10th straight,
That's
right?
a great comment.
That's fantastic.
Great.
We've got to have some modicum of pride, right? But like, didn't it feel that what Wake was doing, they were having some success yardage wise. They couldn't convert when they needed to because they played terribly, right?
Yeah,
and
Robbie Ashford's proven that he's a god awful quarterback.
He can't throw. He can't throw whatsoever. But they had
and
a
they
simple
couldn't catch
game
either. I mean, they had opportunities to make plays and just they puked all over them. Like we thought that Florida State played bad against Stanford 2 weekends ago. Like that was
this is levels above.
Yeah, that was god awful by them. Like how did they beat SMU? And I watched some of that game, and they certainly played a lot better than they did tonight. I don't know.
Yeah, they needed the little weird top hat guy on the motorcycle. I have no idea how motivating that is, but like either way, like Florida State, they took the pitches they were given and they slammed them out of the park, dude. So I do give them the credit for that. I just want to know, is this going to be an inflection point, or is the team going to recapture some of that lost excitement and energy they had at the beginning of the season? Or is this a mirage? I don't know, and I don't like having to talk about things like this. It's just the performance swings that we've seen with the Mike Norvell Florida State Seminoles, right? You do have to question. Now, did they hit their bump and now they're ascending again? I don't know, but I will say great performance tonight offensively. Let's focus on the positive. Let's continue to talk about the offense. Adam, was there anything that you saw that they did differently? Was it execution? A high dose of Sam Singleton, whose mother I'm sure still loves you from the recruiting video.
That's where I was going to start with. I mean, first off, hats off to Sam Singleton. Anytime he makes good plays, I feel obligated to say
shout out, Mama.
And for those that know, they know. But that whole conversation really had nothing to do with Sam. It was more about Yak at the time. But I mean, obviously a surprise start. I don't think anybody was expecting that coming out of the bye. It's been Salchuk, Chroma, and then we started to see a little bit of Keziah Holmes in there, and then Sam Singleton was kind of an afterthought until, unless they were up big. But then tonight, I mean, he was the bell cow. I mean, he was the feature back. They obviously rotated other guys in there, but ran physically. I would love to know what the thought process was behind getting him to start. They feel like his explosiveness and his home run hitting ability, but I would say Salchuk's proven to be that as well. I don't know. It was interesting. I'm curious to hear Mike comment on or Gus, whoever, comment on the Sam Singleton start, but I thought he played really well. I don't think it was like the spark to why the offense was successful, but obviously the run game is what this offense is built around, and he went in and ran very well on the interior. And obviously is a credit to somebody they've developed at the running back position. And then you saw some of the other guys get in there and do well. Obviously Deuce, Tommy Tommy kind of looked like how Tommy's looked all year. I thought. I mean, I don't think he looks
more mobile. Are we still worried about the mobility a little bit? I mean,
I didn't think he necessarily looked more mobile. Like I thought he looked the same as he's looked the past few weeks. His decision making still sometimes is all over the place, but when he's got Deuce that he could just throw it up to, he does it, and praise that Deuce is going to come down to it or come down with it, and Deuce continues to do that. Thought the O-line played okay. Again, I mean, that is they had that's a decent defense that they
I'd say decent to good. Like I was really impressed with how they played against SMU the week before.
Same. So I think that's a performance that you feel like you can build off of. But the offense outside of the Stanford game, the offense has never really been a concern for us.
Right. No,
I mean, I know there's been individual parts and pieces here and there that we've been like, oh, we don't love that. And we've certainly placed some blame on laid some blame at the offense's feet, but it hasn't been something that I was super concerned about as long as you had your pieces available. just to flip it to the defensive side of the ball, though, I felt like tonight was the first night since the Bama game where we saw that energy out of the defensive front. Maybe that's just because they were able to get up and they fed off the energy of being, not, I don't want to call them front runners, but from playing from ahead. And it seemed like that energy kind of came back for them. You saw the Desir brothers making plays. Obviously Daryl, Kevin Wynn in there. It just felt like they had that kind of attitude back about them on the defensive front, which, we've said maybe not the most talented group, maybe not the deepest group, but if they play with the edge that we saw them play with against Bama, they can get pressure. Thought they were in Ashford's face all night. I don't know if that really speaks volumes or not, because I wouldn't classify that Wake offense as any good at all, but still,
no,
it's great to see them go out and have that performance. And, God damn it, Brock Glenn, can we get a damn shutout? Because we've had a couple times this year where they've been close and freaking
wow, how nuts would it have been to get like the first shutout in like over a decade after the weeks? It's so Florida State, man. It's so Florida State. So touching on the offense just a smidge, I do think the straight line speed of Singleton was nice to see. I really thought he executed the inside runs really nicely. I would be interested to hear like
I don't know
what the methodology for that is, because he was 14 carries for 91.
Yeah.
It was pretty. He had 14 carries and Tommy had 10, and that's more than 50% of all the ones for the entire team. So it was very more
some conversation in the chat that maybe War Chant was reporting some guys not doing their best in practice this week, and that's why Sam got the start. So
okay,
I don't know how true that is. We're not reporting that. We'll see.
We'll get with our people.
Yeah.
It was interesting. The kid made the most of the opportunity. Mm-hmm. Great. They really took advantage of Wake on the outside, and Tommy, like you said, a lot of good. I think when he can throw catchable balls downfield, when you have that actual big play component, that's really the engine that makes the offense run, and he was able to execute it tonight. So great to him. Really nice stuff there. The defense side, they were cleaner across the defensive front. I thought the effort was better. I thought they did a lot better on like the execution of some of the stunts, particularly like the sack that Mandrell Desir got. Like it seemed like they were cleaner on some of that stuff. So maybe they ran that through the bye. But I'll be honest, Adam, in the first half, I don't know. I feel like Robbie had a lot of time in the pocket. I feel like they weren't getting in his face. I feel like there was too much easy yardage when Wake was throwing such a simple one-dimensional game plan at you. He wasn't throwing the ball down the field. Does that worry you at all? Now, I do think it flipped in the second half due to Wake miscues and a lot of the pressure that you put on them. You ended up getting multiples of sacks. You got a lot of turnovers, Edwin Joseph stripping the ball. The defense played with a level of swagger that we haven't seen really since the first 3 weeks of the season. But it was after the game had already flipped. Does the first half give you any pause? Because it does for me a little bit. I thought Wake's yardage, I thought it was a little too easy for how one-dimensional their offense was. Am I looking into that too heavily? What is everybody
I don't think this defense is any better magically. I mean, again, we're talking about they play with effort. Did they tackle the football? They kind of did those things better in the second half tonight. But I'm going to guess that if this was a good quarterback, you're probably looking at a different type of score. I'm not saying that they would have won, but this linebacking core didn't suddenly get more athletic. It seemed like maybe they were playing their responsibilities a little more attentively, or they were a little more where they were supposed to be.
Contained, a little bit more contained, restrained, assignment driven.
It seemed like every 1/11th of the defense kind of did their jobs tonight, and they weren't kind of freelancing and doing things that they shouldn't have been doing, which we've seen a lot in the past. So I'm curious to look for that on film review and see if guys are getting out of gaps or linebackers are playing things they're not supposed to be playing, or secondary, stuff we've seen over the past 4 weeks or whatever. You kind of started the game. Blake's they're bringing Blake on the first 2 plays, I think it was, and bringing him off the edge. And first one he runs by the quarterback. Second one he jumps up and the quarterback runs up underneath of him. It just was like, oh my God, here we go again. And then they kind of settled in. I mean, like I said, I mean, it seemed like the energy was decent. They seemed to tackle the ball better. I mean, those are 2 things that have been a major issue.
Absolutely, yeah.
So, if those things are okay, I feel like you give yourself a little bit more of an opportunity in these ball games. But we've got to see it on the tape. I don't want to say too much. Maybe it's the pessimist in me, that I'm frustrated with the Mike Norvell tenure like everybody else is, that I'm like, I don't want to give them credit where credit isn't due. But look, I mean, the end of the day, they won 42-7 in a game that they really kind of dominated from start to finish.
Yeah, it was never in question. They and this is not a bad team. Like this is a pretty solid Wake Forest team.
Yeah.
And you haven't shown a level of competency against a solid team really since like week 1. So I mean, congratulations. And I will there are some things that have been consistent throughout the year. Jabril Rawls, man, I love the way the kid plays. Like that just physical, like not somebody willing to let himself get taken advantage of on the outside. Like he will make you earn it.
Yeah.
And the guys across the defensive front, those young kids, they're still continuing to give you really, really quality reps. I'd be interested to see like Daryl Jackson snaps. I mean, he clearly was affecting the Wake Forest offensive line. Like he drew at least one, if not multiple offsides, like false start penalties. It was a guy that drew a lot of attention. They didn't have a lot of success on the ground, Wake Forest. Like I want to watch the tape because I want to feel better. Like I feel better about the offense. It was good to know that what they did on the West Coast against Stanford was more of an aberration. Like other than that, they've been statistically like a top 15 offense in the country, if not better. Right. So it's good to see them get back to form with everybody healthy. The defense, I love the energy. I love creating turnovers. I love the interceptions. I love some of the pressure you were able to get on Wake Forest, but I need to know that it's real, right? I need to know it wasn't just an effect of a lot of those numbers piling up in the second half when Wake Forest felt like they were overwhelmed. Like when you hit them with the tsunami of what you did on offense plus circumstance. But what were some of the other things in this game, Adam, that really stood out to you other than like the 700 shirtless dudes doing the PD Pablo in the student section? Respect. Good for you guys. Matt, I'd probably be up there too if I was in Doak. I mean, what else stood out to you about this game? I mean, they did. It was, and they pointed out on the broadcast, we had some questions about, is the message of Mike Norvell still resonating to this Florida State team, right? And
yeah, but
they gave him a football. Now,
no.
So what do you think about that? Do you think it was like okay, everything's good when you're winning?
Everybody's happy when you're winning. Like look, obviously they they played hard tonight.
They did.
We weren't sure. I know certainly when I made my prediction for the game, it was like, I mean, they quit against Stanford. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what Mike says.
Pretty visibly, yeah.
Very. We certainly sat through it in real time and talked about it on here on YouTube. But they showed up. Yeah, I mean, they showed up and they fought and they played hard. I'm not going to buy the rah after the Earl Little interception and Mike's there and everybody's excited. Yeah, of course you're excited. You just intercepted a pass. Like, yeah, everybody's going to be slap hands. But we'll say again, it's just like the whole freaking, we got a response mantra. Like, yeah, come on, man. It's so tired at this point. Tired of talking about it. I'm happy that they got a win. I'm happy that, that they feel good about themselves. And let's see next week. I mean, that's where we're kind of at, aren't we? We're
a little bit. It is wait and see, right? Like at least now, it feels like over the past month, this type of performance, I didn't even know if it was in their golf bag anymore. Like I didn't know if they had this in their toolkit. Like I didn't know that they could pull it out. It's nice to see that they can pull it out.
Yeah.
Now, was it a function of the pressure you put on Wake Forest, or Wake Forest like crapping their pants and barfing all over themselves? Like, I don't know. I don't know. I got to watch the film. I got to watch the film based on what you did
Uh,
and what Wake did to themselves. You did
uh,
take advantage of those situations and you did create explosives on offense, but I don't know.
yeah. Here you go. Beating Wake Forest is a measuring stick for your program. Your expectations are pretty
And
low.
that is true. You gotta look at it through the lens of like,
Yeah.
it's nice compared to the hell we've been through for the past 4 weeks, but
I did feel like Tommy. I did. We've talked about it. Yeah, I get it. As a fan, it's cool to see a win. Yeah, I absolutely. I was happy to see that they won. It was good. It's been a while. It's been a little while. It did seem like Tommy had a smile on his face again. When I kind of talked about that after the Stanford game, like, um, he felt like he was having fun again. All
mhm.
right, Briley's calling me out. I don't sound happy. No, I mean, I'm happy that they won, but I mean, Jesus, we're stuck here in this hell right now, deciding what the hell the Mike Norvell future is. Like, do you want me to jump for joy that Mike Norvell is still going to be the coach? No. What's changed? What's changed from 2 weeks ago? I'm glad they won. Of course, I'm glad that they won. It's great that they won, but I'm not going to sit here and be overjoyed that they beat Wake Forest and it's the first ACC win that they've had in a freaking year. I'm sorry, I can't do that. I can't lie to myself and be thrilled that all of a sudden, because you beat Wake Forest, suddenly Mike Norvell is going to figure out how to do all the things that he's screwed up for the past few years. I mean, somebody else can give you that glass of freaking lemonade. I'm not. I'm just not going to do it.
Well, what's fundamental? Like, that's the thing, is what's fundamentally going to be different? Well, will this win be the catapult to a new talent acquisition program,
Right.
to a higher level of high school recruiting, to a higher focus on recruiting, to a higher level of development? To honestly, probably not. Like, it's a win where you took advantage of some things that the team gave you, and guess what? You haven't done that in a while. So credit to you. It is an improvement. Is it a inflection point, like a program changing improvement point? Is it like when we look back on it, like a year or two from now, are we even going to remember this win? Is this going to be the turning point of where we got the Norvell era back in track? I mean, I'm asking these questions to you
It's
guys.
so
They're open.
unknown.
If you're answering the questions in your head, that's how you feel about it. Like right
Yeah.
now, this is just a night in early November, and we're talking
Right.
about what happened, not that long ago. Where it actually stacks up in the Florida State pantheon of like great events, we don't know. Is it nice? Does it mean? That's the thing. How do you feel? Like I'm interested to, like, this is a talking point I didn't know if I wanted to get into, because this was a very weird experience for me watching this game, Adam, because we're analysts, right? But I'm a very biased analyst. Like I'm a fanalist. You
Yeah.
guys are way more objective than I am, right? So I'm watching this game. We're having some success, and I just keep asking myself, what is the ultimate point of of this? Like, is this going to be the moment where it changes, a light turns on, we recapture some of that old momentum, or are we just elongating an end result we know we're going to get to? It was just a very weird experience for me.
Mhm.
Like, there wasn't a lot of energy watching my team have positive results. And I don't like feeling that. Now, can I be proven wrong? I told you guys my prediction record on, like, I've been wrong all the time about this team. So I'll just be being wrong again. Isn't that big of a deal? Like, maybe this is like, hey, dude, this is the guy. He found his mojo. The team believes in him. We can sell an upswing, and here we go. We're back on the track again. To me, it just feels, I don't know, dude. I don't know how to feel about it. I know that I feel good because watching your team get the, the the crap beaten out of them in real time is awful.
Uh,
Where does it lead to the future? I don't know, because I still
no,
don't know how to feel about
it's-
the future.
and the problem for me is not like I guess I'm not showing my happiness with the tone of my voice. I mean, it is 11 o'clock at night. I'm sorry. I've been up since freaking 5:30. I've got 2 kids. Like, yeah, I'm sorry. It just, but again, like we talked about it when we were on X's and O's and we're discussing the whole freaking letter and all that stuff. Like, we're just past the Mike Norvell conversation at this point. Like, I'm frustrated right now because the administration of Florida State University have put all of us in this position of having to feel like this or having these conversations after wins because of their indecisiveness or just the weird way that whole note and statement was put out and worded and all that stuff. Like, you guys are either with him or you're not with him, but you've put all of us in this weird, awkward spot right now of apathy and of, you're not a real fan if you're not happy, or if you're not showing the level of happiness that you should be showing right now, then you're not a true fan. Like, it's just, you stuck us in this weird purgatory hell place right now, and I'm aggravated about that. I'm thrilled that the team won. I'm so freaking frustrated that we have to sit here and have this conversation after a win. They kicked Wake's ass. They did. They kicked Wake's ass. It was great. It's fantastic to see. But it's like, now we got to go see what happens next week, and then the week after that, and it just is such an awkward place for all of us.
Well, I somehow I'm watching something that most, if not any other year, is an objectively good thing, and I keep watching. I go, is there something wrong with me as I'm watching it? Because I don't feel as good as the results on the field are going to be. Am I the bad guy? Like, am I being fickle? Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know, but I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not really I'm enjoying it, but I'm also looking forward. It's a hope. It's a forward-looking business. That's fair. Like,
my retort to that is not that, like, I can be happy with this, but not express the jubilation. But my hobby is Florida State as a whole. So, like, if I don't feel like this guy's best for Florida State, then no, like, I mean, at what point am I just, like, yeah, I'm happy that they won, but I'm not thrilled that Mike Norvell's still going to be the head coach. Like, so
at least not
my hobby is long-term for Florida State. I want them to be winning championships, and I don't think he's going to do that for them.
Yeah, like I'm fans of the program. I'm not really fans of like particular I
don't give a shit
coaching
about
regimes. Yeah, like I just
weird. But we're all in this weird spot, and that's kind of my point. Like, we're just in such a weird spot right now. Like,
yeah, it's hard to verbalize. Like, I felt like I was watching the game underwater. The things that would make me happy didn't make me as happy, but the things that should have made me mad also didn't make me as mad. Like, all of my emotions are like muted a little bit because I don't know where this whole thing's going to go.
Right.
Because, to be truthful, I'm so far out of, I just don't believe that the regime in place has enough to get this program back and track to where it needs to be. And I could be wrong, dude. I'm wrong all the time. Maybe they will. Like, crazier things have happened in the sport, right? I just don't think that they will. So it's going to be really hard to bring a person like me back in and believe. Now, am I being too jaded? And am I being too pessimistic? Possibly. And so if you guys are in, that's awesome. I want you to be in. This was a legitimately very good win against a pretty damn good team. And they did business, dude. They kicked their ass.
Yep.
They beat them by more than Vegas thought. They took advantage of all the mistakes. They generated explosives. Deuce Robinson is a legit stud. They did what they needed to do. But for me, I'm so far out on what I've seen this like staff and regime be able to do with the momentum that they've had in the past. It's going to take so much more than this to get me back in. Yeah. If you're in, that rules. Stay in. It's way better than feeling like you're watching a football game underwater. I hated the way I felt tonight.
Agreed.
Will it change? Yeah, dude. Everything's subject to change. But I don't like having a governor on my own emotions because I kind of feel like I know what the end result is going to be.
Welcome to college football in 2025.
Yeah, so we'll see, man. So, like, to bring it back, TLDR version. Great night tonight.
Yep.
Great
Yeah.
performance from the offense. Opportunistic performance by the defense with the reservation for me to say it was a good performance. I just need to watch the film. Was it more Wake shooting yourself in the face, or was it more like you putting the pressure on them? I need to see. The offense, I know they did a good job. Defense, I need to see that. Can they carry this forward? If you carry this forward against Clemson, Clemson's not playing at a high level right now,
No,
but
they're
they are
not.
talented, and
Yeah.
you are going on the road.
Yep.
You beat Clemson, to me, I don't even care. That's still a good win for this team. Then we start to reassess. Like, is the confidence there? Is the execution there? Great. I don't know, man. I don't know. And if you guys think differently,
That's okay.
I do. I think that's more than fair. I really do. So what I guess, Adam, you monitored the chat while we talk. What's everybody's kind of feelings tonight? Is it conflicted? Are we being a little bit too pessimistic?
No, I think it's just how things have been the last couple of weeks. There are the truth. There are the fans that I think no matter what is going on, they are going to ride or die for anybody that is wearing the garnet and gold, no matter what. And
respect, dude, and respect to those people. Like, I seriously,
there are
respect.
There are those that feel like Mike Norvell shouldn't be the head coach, and we need to move on, no matter what the outcomes are of these next few games. It's just exactly what we've seen playing out. Fan is about looking for positives. That's more than fair. I think that, like, my fandom, I try to set it aside a little bit when we do these things to try to be honest about what I feel like is going on. So maybe that's why it comes off a little less fanish for me, and maybe a little more negative. Maybe I'm trying so hard to remove the bias of my fandom when we do these things.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm thrilled they won. It's been what, 6 weeks since we saw them win. Like, it's great. It's great to see them win a freaking football game. Like, it's great to see them actually win an ACC game. I legitimately thought they were going to lose tonight because there was no evidence to suggest or support that they would win a game, maybe even a game the entire offseason or the rest of the season.
Yeah.
But they did, and it's great. And maybe Deuce Robinson is just that important to this football team. And maybe Mike Alford's comments about the close losses is literally just comes down to Deuce Robinson and cleaning a couple things up on defense. I don't know. I wish I had the answers. I don't, but I feel like you do. I feel stuck in the mud right now as a fan of this football program, and as somebody that tries to talk about it after every game. And when we do film reviews, like, it just feel we're in a weird spot. We're all kind of getting through this together. We're all gonna have to kind of stick together on it too, and not be like, oh, you're a bad fan, or you're a bad fan, or you're a better fan.
Yeah.
Retire that shit, and let's all just kind of work through this together, and we're going to see where we get to here in a few weeks.
Well, it's such an interesting thing, right? Because do you analyze what happened on the field tonight? What happened on the field tonight? A great win against Wake Forest, man. You did what you needed to do. You kicked their ass. You're the more talented team, and you look like the more talented team. But do you pull your frame of reference back a little bit? Like,
yeah.
Do I need to be jumping for joy over a win over Wake Forest on Florida goddamn State? Like, yeah, this is what you do. Yeah. And you also don't lose to Stanford, and you don't lose to Pitt, and you don't have an uncompetitive most of your game against Miami team. A Miami team that ain't that good, dude. So that's why it's all conflicting, right? Like, what happened tonight was so much better than what happened for a month before. But was what happened tonight what I want my ideal or the high operating version of what Florida State should be? That's where you get into the gray area, man. That's where you get into the gray area, because tonight was good, but we're talking standards. Like, is your standard what's happened in 2025, or is your standard of like the ideal of what Florida State should be? Either way, I think we're going to get on the film. I don't know if you want to touch on any specific comments in the chat, Adam. Like, it's a very
get me out of here.
It's a conflicted evening, man. Like, it really is. So it's just once again,
I'm sorry it comes off that way for everybody here. Like,
it comes off that way for me, dude. It really does.
It does, and I do apologize. Like, I don't want to be don't want to be down. I don't want to be negative. I want it to be positive and like try to find that right now in this weird time. It's hard to sit here and talk about it and not just really kind of be open about how you feel right now. It's just kind of where we're at as a program. And again, we are all everybody. There's 2,200 people in here right now. We're all kind of working through this
Hey,
together as
love you
fans, and
guys.
we're just going to see where it goes. I mean, that's just where we are, and we're going to find out. There's another game next week, and we're going to see how that game goes, and
More
we're going to be
data.
here to kind of talk about it. And
So,
we'll see.
2 questions. Was tonight good? Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
Tonight was good.
High
Did
fives.
tonight fundamentally change the direction of where you think this leadership team is taking the program? For me, no. And if it's for you, yes. And it does. Congratulations, my friends. You're ahead of the curve. And I'm wrong again. Add it to the list, dude. The list is getting long. So I hope it is. I really do. I swear to God, I do hope that this is this random November homecoming night was the one that like changed the direction of the Florida State and the Mike Norvell regime, and they recapture all of that mojo that they had. I personally don't know, but guess what, dude? I'm one person, and there's thousands of you guys listening. I hope that this is the night because
it'd be freaking great.
I'm ready to have a lot more of these nights than the past 4 other time instant reactions that I've done. I love you guys. Get back to your fam. We'll talk about this more on Knowles247.com. Luckily, the result was good enough. I think we're going to do a little film review because there was some positive stuff to review, and I think you guys might watch it. So that'll be a nice change. So we'll be on there for that. But Knowles247.com, there's going to be a ton of really interesting conversation, ton of news, notes, analysis, insider nuggets of information that are going to be on there. Get on the board. Let us know what you think. Mm-hmm. The one thing that I think overall that Adam, Kevin, and I both 100% agree on, you guys are the best. We love you. Thank you for riding along with us in this very, very interesting season of Florida State football. And keep chopping.
Yeah, keep chopping that thing.
Keep chopping. Don't ever stop. No. Love you guys.